Macadoja T-Cat at the Medigac Shack. You tuned in to Macadoja TV. This is the first official podcast for Macadoja TV. Make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Make sure to subscribe to my other channel as well, Funky Doja Beats. Today I want to talk about something that's been bothering me for some time now. It's the statue of Rosa Parks in front of the Rosa Parks Elementary School. It's a lot of things that come to my mind about this statue when I see it. Some are good, some are bad. So what I'm doing here is trying to decipher what other people's opinion is subject to this matter. To be honest, my first impression was this school made Rosa Parks look like this to alter her image in the community. Mind you, this is a Mexican Latino dominant area. Nothing's wrong with it. I was basically born and raised in this community. Me and my parents moved here in 1992. Today is January 9th of 2020, and we're still a residence in this community. Sometime I would walk past this statue, and I would say things to myself like, damn, that statue look racist as fuck. Or I would say things like, why did they make her with her mouth open? And it really bothered me because my mind was fixated on the fact that Rosa Parks, being a black African lady, refusing to sit in the back of the bus one day in Montgomery, Alabama, the same city where the March on Washington happened, if I believe so. It was by the famous Dr. King. For some reason in my mind, I kind of go off the deep end when I look at the statue. Her mouth is open, eyes closed, sitting on the floor with her hands out. In my head, I'm thinking this is just satanic. It's racist because she looks nowhere near the Rosa Parks in my head looks. Like, to my understanding, Rosa Parks never mentioned anything about being a part of anything because of racism. Especially back then, it was viciously outward racism. These days, it's internal when dealing with racism. Store clerks, they keep a certain amount of your change back without you knowing. Business employees make it seem like you're loitering outside of their business even though you just bought from their store. Or in this case, trying to alter another one's legacy or another one's history. The look on the statue is kind of odd to me, with the mouth open and hands out. It also has a yin-yang symbol on the heart, which throws me off because the only time it was ever mentioned that Rosa Parks was religious was when she stated in an interview that her strength came from God when she refused to give her seat to a white man in 1955. The statue's apparel, you can see other cultural symbols as well. The statue is portrayed to be a black woman with black skin all over, a colorful dress, and long curly hair. She is also sitting on the floor with her hands out as if she was someone that is not employed. Just recently, I got sick and tired of being sick and tired of these thoughts going through my head about this fucking statue. So I started spending quality time there, reading and downloading apps on my phone. And what you notice when you hang out in this area is there is writing all over the benches with the title, Tell Your Story. And what I learned about these benches is, on the benches, it was short stories about foreign kids and their transition to American land. want to read this one short story on a bench that I usually sit at when I'm in this area. It says, when I came here with my family, I didn't know anything about the life here in USA. I didn't speak English. All I knew was that I had left my Mexico, my people, my language, my culture. But I had the most important thing in my life, my family, and a desire to succeed. Everybody said it was way too hard to move here, but I had to try. Yes, it was hard, but not impossible. At Rosa Parks Elementary, I experienced something different. Smiling faces. People talking my language and asking me to be a part of the team of the community. They not only understood my language, but they understood my feelings, my fears, and my dreams. Now time has passed, and the dream is coming true, little by little. Alright, now I'm gonna keep it real with you, man. To me, it don't sound like a kid wrote that. It actually sounds to me like somebody being accepted into a certain culture or secret society. The only trace of a child's presence in that passage is when the school is mentioned. There's no dates, there's no time, there's no names of the people who wrote these stories. No proof of if the stories are even real or not. When I was younger, as a little kid, I used to go to this school. And I can honestly say, when I was enrolled, it was just about Rosa Parks. It wasn't about universal culture. I remember when the school first opened, I was one of the first students there. One of the first to enroll. Grand opening, Rosa Parks Elementary School. I remember there was a time when Rosa Parks came to the school when it first opened. She got on stage and told her story to all the kids and teachers at the school. One of the main things I remember her saying is, it was hard for her to go into detail because the incident happened so long ago. Mind you, at this time, Rosa Parks is like in her 90s or her early or mid 90s, I believe. She also stated she recalled the police department treating her very abusively when they dragged her off the bus during that incident. She was manhandled, racially slaughtered, taunted when she got took down to the precinct. Repeated racial slurs on the way to the precinct. A lot of African American culture abuse has been hidden since then, and the abuse is becoming more impossible to deal with. This is the main reason why I think this is a tactic of erasing the history of Rosa Parks. With that being said, I want to read this last passage of who they say, in this case, who Rosa Parks is and what the statue represents. There's a monument at the front of the area that says the storyteller. And it says, people relate to each other through stories, and it is both the commonality and the uniqueness of each person's story that bind and fascinate us. A sculpture that draws on the many stories of the residents of the City Heights community and is fitting for the Rosa Parks Elementary School. The visual inspiration for this sculpture comes from the tradition of ceramic storyteller dolls made by the Native Americans of the Pueblo cultures in the southwestern USA. These dolls, with their eyes closed and mouths open, tell their stories as small figures of children sit on their laps and climb on them while listening. The Rosa Parks storyteller sculpture has the same gesture and offers places where real children can sit and listen or read their stories. Each of the benches has a different story about the school, the children, the neighborhood, the community, and about Rosa Parks herself. It continues saying about the artist. Sayoko K. Mura was born in Jerome, Arkansas, raised in Denver, Colorado, and received a BA from Pomona College in Claremont, California. She has an MA in art from Claremont Graduate University and a MFA in ceramics from the University of Hawaii, where she attended as an East-West Center grantee. Kay lives in Hawaii and is a professor of art teaching ceramics and sculpture at Leeward Community College. Her work is a private and public collections, and she has completed several outdoor installations at an elementary school in Hawaii. These are the benefactors. It says right here, it says, the Rosa Parks storyteller sculpture garden has been generously supported by the Rob Goodman family and Price Charities. Rob Goodman, a friend of the Price family, originally suggested that he wanted to provide funding for an outdoor artwork in City Heights. Various sites and artists were reviewed before the final selections were made. The Rosa Parks School site was chosen because the school embodies the culture and values of the City Heights community. The artist Kay Mura, a resident of Kauai, Hawaii, was selected because of her experience and passion for creating outdoor ceremonial sculptures for schools. It is our hope that the Rosa Parks storyteller will be a source of joy and inspiration for generations of Rosa Parks students and staff, and for the entire City Heights community. And this was dedicated on November in 2006. Even though these sculptures was made for inspiration, judging them from the blind's eye gives off a lot of mixed signals to that certain section of the community that's never going to experience these sculptures. Imagine how many people drive by these sculptures and say to themselves, they say, that's not Rosa Parks. Or in reality, imagine how many people really just want our past to stay in the past. Think about that last sentence. This is Macadoja TK, Maniac Sack. You're tuned in to Macadoja TV. Like and subscribe to the channel.